Hello friends, Matt here with Donek Arquiescat. Please subscribe and share with your friends. This is the fourth in a series of videos about Thomas Aquinas' 5 proofs for the existence of God. Today we're going to talk about the fourth proof, which is the proof from degrees of perfection. When we look at things, we can compare them and rank them according to a number of attributes. For one thing, we can rank them according to truth. And what we mean by truth is the actuality of the thing. Truth is the correspondence between thought and reality. And so if something has more reality, then it can be true in more ways, right? And so we can rank things in terms of truth. Some things are more true than others. We can also rank things in terms of goodness, right? Goodness is what we desire, and we desire to be human beings more than we would desire to be, say, cats who are not conscious of their being. And we would desire to be a cat more than we would desire to be a stone because there's more that a cat can do. And we're talking here about kinds of things, not just one human being being better than another human being or something like that, but we're saying that some things are better than other kinds of things. They have more actuality to them. They can do more things, right? Humans can do more than the other animals. The other animals can do more than plants. The plants can do more than rocks and stones and just pieces of wood. And so we see that there are degrees of perfection in terms of the being of the things. And even when we equate goodness with being, we realize that more being, right, the ability to do more things, having more potential, more actuality when we become actual, is better than having that non-being as part of us. And we equate goodness with being because having more potentiality, right, being able to do more, is better than not. We see that it's better to be a human being than an animal, and better to be an animal than a plant, and better to be a plant than, snow or a stone or a cloud. And when we look at any group of things, the maximum thing in that group is the cause of all the other things having that thing. So we look at the things that exist, the category of being, all the things that have being. And we notice that we can rank all those things according to being, according to how much actuality they have. And none of those things have to exist. They all depend on something else for their cause. And when we look at those other things, we can see that it's possible for them to not be in that category because they can not have being, because they haven't always been around. As we saw in the last video, in the last argument, all those things that we interact with have contingent being. However, since we can rank them according to perfection, then there has to be something at the top from which they derive their levels of perfection. Because that highest thing is the cause and the measure of everything else in that category. This condition applies when that maximal thing has to be in the category. It's not possible for it to not be in the category. And when everything else in the category needs some other cause. And so when it comes to these transcendental attributes, right, we're not talking about smelliness or something like that. Transcendental attributes, these are attributes that everything has. Truth, being, goodness, oneness, these are the transcendental attributes. And each of those, when they're ranked hierarchically, there must be something, some maximal being, that gives that transcendental attribute to everything else. And we see then that the thing at the top, the perfection of those categories, truth, being, goodness, oneness, turns out to be the same thing. It has to be the source of all actuality. This thing that has maximal being is pure being. And so we end up again with this same thing that we got from the other arguments, and it's the source of all those other things that exist. And so we call that God. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Please share with your friends and subscribe.